You have got to hear this. Do not click away. This message is for you, and it is important. Behind closed doors, I'm a fool for your love. Hey, welcome to my channel. Good morning, good evening, good night, whatever it is, wherever you are. I have just spent the past couple hours having the most harrowing online conversation I have probably ever had. A young man in Australia. And I'm going to get to these other countries. So England, you're not left out. United States, you're certainly not left out because you're the worst. So everybody needs to listen to this. This isn't a regional thing. This is everywhere. I'm still shaking from that conversation. I have the heat on and I still feel cold. It is warm and it was harrowing. And it was a young man that was thinking of suicide. I got him the help he needed. He called me from the center, so I know he went. But it brought up a bigger issue. Did you know, and like I said, I'm going to get to all the other countries, not all of them, but England and the United States as well. But right now, I'm just on Australia. But I'm going to get to you because I care about all of you. In Australia, the rate of suicide increased by 9%. 3,128 people killed themselves in Australia. 75% of them were men. Suicide is the leading cause of death for Australian men, ages 15 to 44. Do I have a little bit of a tug on your heartstrings yet? In England, you're a little bit worse. 5,821 people killed themselves in England. It's 15.5 deaths per 100,000. 75% of them are men. It is the single biggest killer for British men under the age of 45. The United States, my brothers, 47,000 people took their own lives. 77% of them were men. It is up 33% from 1999. It is the second leading cause of death for men under the age of 35. Does any of this get any kind of emotion from you? And it brings up a bigger issue as well. Why? And why is the rate going up? Is it because men aren't seeking services? Well, that's what all the studies are showing. That women tend to use the services and men tend to don't use the services. I've seen studies say that it's because of pride. I can see that, men. We are prideful. That's what a man is. Sometimes that's all we have. But there is no shame in seeking help. There's no shame in trying to better yourself. Suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. But what is the underlying issue? All I can speak of is from experience. And my experience is that magic hour, and men, you know what I'm talking about. When your mate comes over and has a pint with you, watching the game, and you have that magic hour of silence. You don't say anything to each other, but yet volumes have been spoken. That's the male bonding experience. And it's a beautiful thing, and there's nothing wrong with saying that it is a beautiful thing. The sheer idiocracy of society. Men tend to be, as I see it, disposable. Women are fine. They don't really need much help as far as I can see. And yes, I know. They are touting that they do need this and they need that and they need these programs and they need these resources and they need this and they need that. Well, let me give you an example. A real-life example. There was a shelter in the United States. It was a male shelter that accepted male victims of domestic violence, which incidentally is pretty non-gendered. It's pretty split. It was shut down because everyone was saying that it would take resources away from women's shelter. The man committed suicide. The man who started that shelter. How apropos. A zero-sum game? Really? Is that what this is? Is that what people believe? This is not a zero-sum game. We help each other or we doom each other, and that's all there is to it. We're in it together. And right now, as I see it between the sexes, men and women are doing fine in the developed world. Yes, there are many countries that could use tons of help. But in the developed world, where my message is most likely to reach, it is the men that need help. They are the majority of victims of violent crime. They are 50% of the victims of domestic violence, or damn close to it. Yet, where are the shelters and the help? Men are failing in education. Yet, where are the programs to get men into education? It is no wonder the rate of male suicide has increased. Do we open our eyes and do we see society for what it is, or do we bury our head in the sand and use money and resources that could be better put in other places, in places that don't make sense? Because the vocal minority is so loud. And here I am, an ant, calling up to the giant to not step on me. With under 1,000 subscribers, begging my voice to be heard. And will the giant step on me? And if he does, will I fall in between that sweet spot of his tread, where he picks his foot up and I fall out and I run and I scurry to safety? But I tell you, it is okay for you to fear being tread on and put yourself out there for the giant to tread on. Because if you don't, your voice will never be heard in the first place. And it's okay, men, to call out for that help that you need. It's what you need. And I care about you. I genuinely care about you. It pains me to see these statistics and then to see them just hidden and swept under the rug like they don't exist. Because men are disposable. Men are statistics. Men are designed to take the brunt of society and still walk with our heads high and not complain. Because that's the nature of a man. And all we ask is for society to say it's okay to be a man, but you can't even say it's okay to be a man. Masculinity is toxic in of itself. There are feminist articles bemoaning the fact that she carries a male child inside her. Male children are the #1 aborted sex in the developed world and the least adopted sex in the developed world, because men are throwaways, except to each other. That's where our power is, and that's how we can help with suicide. I don't have resources. The only thing that I have is my voice, and to plead to you to treat your fellow man with kindness and maybe recognize when he is holding that deepness inside, that pain. But his manlyhood, his masculinity, his glorious masculinity is holding it in. Because that glorious masculinity is what saves the world, because we sit on the front lines and we take the brunt, and we take the anguish and we take the pain of others and we absorb it, and we remain strong and vigilant for you. Just take care of each other. That's all I got. Take the message to heart and share it. Speak up. Never let yourself be quiet. Find that one mate that you can sit down and have that pint with. And men, you know what I'm talking about. You can sit with another man and not say anything, yet you've spoken volumes. All I can pray is that my voice is heard and maybe helps one person, but all I can do is try. All you can do is try. I care about you. I am here for you. I accept emails. I try to comment to everybody I possibly can back. And I appreciate you for your time. I will see you on the next one.